don't say another word until I start recording, okay?
That's how I live my life, bro.
Are you going to talk into the mic?
Yeah.
When we're ready to start.
All right, just open it up.
All right. Okay. You don't have to have such a fucking attitude.
Shit.
Welcome to We Are Libertarians for this week. I am your host, Chris Spangle. Joining me is James Nease. James, what the fuck are you doing here?
I came by because I don't
Into
check
the
my
mic.
Facebook messages.
So we were going to have a troll spectacular. We were going to have Aaron Ewert and Tyler Weiss. I don't know how you say his name. And
You say like racism because that's a pretty racist name. Is it German?
Use that other mic for me, please.
We're doubling the mics.
Yeah, double up on the mics. And so we were going to have a troll spectacular, and then obviously Greg was going to be here. But the other two canceled because they're losers. And so I've been frantically trying to get a hold of you all day to say, hey, cancel. We're not doing this.
Well, as brutalist overlord, I have an obligation to speak to my constituents.
Just get that mic over so it's a little more comfortable. There you go. I know, you have to come speak to your constituents. And Greg's not going to be joining us because he made other plans, which surprises you, apparently.
He told me that he's been taking this girl out he's been sort of seeing, and I asked if he smashed, and he I think it was have you done Netflix and chill yet? And he's like, no, we just did shots at the bar. I'm like, it's a total frat boy move. It's I would have smashed it by second date at least.
Right. How many dates has he been on?
Probably 20. It's he's like, oh, I did a couple top shelf Jameson shots, got fucking drunk, and it's like. So Netflix and chill,
yeah.
Come on, Greg, you got the hat on, you got the polo. This should be a sealed deal. If you can't seal the deal, you can Cosby it up. That's 36% of college campuses. That's what happens, and it's
Are you saying that he goes to the college campuses to date? Is that's what's happening?
It wouldn't surprise me if he just hung out by the admissions office during freshman rush. It's
well, I've made a decision. I'm not dating for 6 months, and when I do, I'm never dating anyone under the age of 30. Everyone under the age of 30 is an idiot. You know that, right?
But they're so easy.
Yeah, but I know that, but they're also easy. So it's a mess, James. I mean, how do you do it? You've procreated. You're a father. So you've settled down. You've gotten what? Married?
No, marriage is for chumps.
Oh, so you had a kid. You have a bastard child. You're not making an honest woman out of her?
He's my Stark. She's my Stark, I should say.
So you get out there and you smash after a second date, do you?
I mean, it's the cardinal rule. It's this is 2015. It's if I were a judge and just went to court, I would be you didn't smash by a second date, contract's invalid.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but I would at least smash by the second date.
Is that how you live your life? You just get on the internet and play around?
Well, look, when I'm on the internet, it's usually I'm talking to Lenz about some horse shit. Then there's Aaron Ewert, which I keep telling him I'm going to bang your wife. He's like, well, we're going to Europe. You're not married in Europe. You got married in the United States. It doesn't recognize your marriage. It's free game, dude. As Aaron's well, whatever. It's it surprises me he even got married because he does basement refurbishing, so he basically lives in a basement.
He doesn't live in a basement. He does foundation repair. He doesn't work in. Oh, God. He doesn't live in a basement just because he does foundation repair.
All right, if you're spending at least 8 hours a day in a basement, I bet you piss in jugs too. You know what I mean? It's it's just bit by bit by bit, what he's doing. It's just man, because I looked at it and then I look at his company and he's the only person to give it a 5-star review, and I'm just
You should say the company's name so that way they get a good plug out of this.
I don't know. It's I don't have basements I need fixed. So if I ever had a basement, I guess I'd call him and be like, yo, Aaron, come here, dog. And he would come in and be like, I need you to put some tin foil and blankets up in the windows to block out the sunlight because I'm gonna be getting grind on in a new World of Warcraft expansion. So I need to zone out for a couple days. I mean, if I had to do a basement refurbishing, that's how I do it.
Why? Where did World of Warcraft come into the basement refurbishing? You lost me. I don't.
All right, because there's like a steady process to nerdom. Like you spend your like childhood playing with like Transformers or some other stuff. Like watching, I don't know, Bill Nye, and slowly you pack on, boom, 400 pounds. You're in the basement playing a level 75 Warlock.
Can you explain some of the steps in between there?
A lot of hot pockets, a lot of like pimples, a lot of the really hot 10 out of 10 cutie pie, just not having it. It's just like, definitely is. When I leave high school, you can tell yourself, I'll leave high school, college, totally new, fresh start. Then you just move the basement to a dorm room, and it's just like, oh, come on, dude.
And then it's over. Your life's over.
No.
Next thing you know, you're hairy.
Yeah, and then you work at the Bob and Tom show.
Okay, thank you. I'm not 400 pounds, and this is clearly not a basement. This is a luxury apartment, James.
It's on the south side of Indianapolis. It's essentially a basement.
Okay. When you drive in here, did you notice any speed bumps? No.
No, I noticed like some minority gentleman, like
What?
He was darker than
Alert the
white.
authorities.
Yeah, he was darker than white. He was just parked in like the in between parking spaces, blocking both lanes of traffic on his phone. And I was like, I know that new Nicki Minaj track. I know it's fire. I know that Meek Mill's fire, dog. Your mixtape's probably fire too. But just move that stuff out of the way.
I'm pretty sure my neighbor's a stripper. Because I got home, she was probably tanning and got home, and she was wearing, of course, nothing, because she was probably like 21, and that's what 21-year-olds with stripper bodies do. They wear nothing, and she was walking inside, and I hadn't seen her. I said, "Oh, hey, have you moved in?" And she looked at me like I was Bill Cosby, and I said, "Hi, I'm Chris," and I was put my hand out to shake her hand and say hello, like a good neighbor, like an adult would do. And she looked at me like I was about to abduct her and put her in my pit. Little does she know, the pit's full. It's at capacity right now. And then she went on her merry way, and she was thoroughly unfriendly. So if the building ever burns down, because she slighted and hurt my ego, I will not rescue her. It is not going to happen.
I mean, it's probably just to promote your approach. Like, you approached her like nice. You should have like, hey, sup, bitch? What you doing?
Is that what I'm doing wrong? I'm being nice.
Like, I'm
being nice to women.
You got to keep that pimp hand strong,
Okay.
And then when she asked you for something, do it 6 months later, and just be like, oh, I did something nice for you. It's definitely how you should definitely approach it. I mean, like, invite her over and just be like, hey, Netflix and chill, and like,
Is that your line?
I'm all about that line.
Does it work?
I don't know. I don't have Netflix. I have that other.
You can't afford it.
I got the other Hulu.
You got Hulu? You can't Hulu and chill.
Yeah, Hulu and chill just involves like you like smoking crack rocks. This is like,
I need to put that on my Facebook immediately.
we're social media today, brought to you by the Bob and Tom social media director. Tell us about your job, Chris. What do you do on a day to day?
My job is a lot of fun.
You don't do anything.
I really don't. No, I do. If you go anywhere on the Bob and Tom show, if you're not familiar, it's a nationally syndicated radio show. It's, in my humble opinion, the most successful syndicated comedy show of all time, and it's a morning show. And if you go online and look them up anywhere, I am their web director. So, like, if you see a video, a podcast, a status update, a tweet, any of that kind of stuff, I wrote, produced, distributed, all that stuff. Same with the website, all that good stuff.
Radio show is kind of sad to me because like I'll wake up like 6 in the morning on like 93.1. It's like the Lafayette station where it's like, God damn, dude, I'm gonna get me some heavy metal this morning as I plow through cornfields. And it's like, welcome back to the Bob and Tom show. Here's Donnie Baker. I'm like, I don't give a shit about Donnie Baker. I've seen his YouTube video with him with the boat. Like, who is this dude? It's like he's a guy with a mullet and he's got this weird voice. It's like, come on, dog. Like, go to a strip club with the videos at least. I mean, like, you have to be redneck, but you have to be like a level where it's like 6-pack of Coors and like a strip club getting thrown out type of redneck.
Well, what people don't realize is Donnie Baker is actually a character. Like he's played by a guy who I will not name, but Donnie is the guy who plays Donnie is probably the funniest guy I guess I could say it. He's been on Chick's podcast. His name's Ron Sexton. He's like the funniest comedy writer I've ever met. He's an amazing human being too, which is even more important.
My filter's pretty low, so I've never do on radio. Maybe like Sirius XM. It's like, hey, dude, like, let me just drop some F-bombs and some obviously, like, sexist material.
You have persistence because we tried to get rid of you tonight and you still showed up. When you knocked, you used to show up like 3 hours late, and I used to just I was like, you know what, I'm not inviting him on anymore because he doesn't show up on time. He shows up 2 hours late. But I guess no Nease is better than some Nease. Now you show up a half an hour early, which is forbidden. Anybody who listens knows my battles with Harry because Harry is not only on time, he is early, and that does. You show up to my house early, you're probably going to see me naked.
Well, Harry is like this rare, like he's kind of like a shiny Pokemon.
Okay, all right. Be really careful what you're about to say about Harry. Okay.
All right, he's like a shiny Pokemon because like when Harry finally added me, I was like going through his pictures, like the Naruto jacket and like all the anime stuff. I'm like, this is like maybe like one of 50 black dudes that like watch anime.
Okay.
So I'm just like, okay, he's like the shiny Pokemon, and I'm just like clicking through his profile, and like part of me is like weeaboo, like just I can't do anything to him because it's a hate crime. I'll be like, I can't just be like, well, okay, man, it's because he's a weeaboo. It's like, no, because he's black. And I'm like, well, Black Lives Matter, Big Burn.
Big Burn. What does that mean? Teach me your street lingo.
Like that. Did you read about like the Bernie Sanders rally where like he got interrupted by like those baddies?
I saw something about it. I'm not really paying attention to it.
He was like a patient grandpa that's just like the kids are like unruly in his house. There's always that one grandparent like kids are obviously setting shit on fire or like just
what happened with you and your nephews and nieces and your cousins is what I mean. You're lighting things on fire.
I mean, like, I guess I don't know what kids do when like grandpa doesn't give a shit, but like that's how. But like Bernie's up there talking about Medicare, Social Security, trying to score them like old people votes.
Right.
Bernie's pro boomer, and that's just something I can't get behind.
But see, Bernie's your candidate. How could you be against Bernie? He's a socialist, just like you.
Because he's a pro boomer. It's like
your hatred of the baby boomers. It is so much more than any principle that you hold.
Look. I'm out there every day on the streets, and here they come rolling up in their Mazda 6, booming it out. It's like,
listen to Foreigner.
Hank FM or whatever, and just taking up the roads and going to Chipotle and being like, make sure you get the rice without cilantro. And it's like, then they go home, and it's just like, man, I wish I had to work, but I'm just collecting Social Security checks, and I'm just like, these would be the first people I would put in the camps. In fact, they have camps for them. They're called retirement homes.
See, the first people I would put in camps are Ben Carson people. If you're a Ben Carson person, you have to go away. I'm sorry. What do you think of Ben Carson people and Tea Partiers?
Like Tea Party people?
Yeah.
They're always online. I've never seen them in like real life.
They're like those 400-pound nerds.
Yeah, like they're always on like Brightbird or like whatever, just being like, "Well, he's a goddamn socialist." It's like well, you're goddamn old. They just crack me up because like they'll write these long-winded posts. And it's just like, well, he's going to make them FEMA camps and them drones and Jade Helm 15. And it's like I like how you use code words to talk, like Jade Helm 15. Like what? Like I got cool guild names in my MMOs too, bro. Mine's called the Syndicate.
So are you saying that Tea Partiers are actually just real-life role players? They're LARPers.
They're like people that were like born before the internet.
Okay.
You know, so like then they finally got the internet. Then like somewhere like 3 or 4 years ago, they realized that you can say whatever the fuck you want on the internet with no repercussions. Right. So they go ham. You know what I mean? Like
right.
there's no filter. So it's just like any accusation they make, and then you try to like point out like evidence, and it's like links. I ain't got time to click a link. It's like my Firefox browser's already got 15 tabs open.
I like that you think that they use Firefox.
They have to use Firefox.
No, they're using Internet Explorer. Come on.
They're probably using Edge. Like they probably like
Edge?
Like Windows 10's new browser. They're probably like Edge is so small and no plugins.
They're using XP.
Oh man, probably XP as they do like their Ashley Madison. Just be like, I hate my wife. It's like I gotta find me an affair with a mistress. I could be your sugar daddy. You know,
okay,
like
right?
But they just. as they post more on the internet, then you got people like, I don't know, like Melissa is like the founder of the Tea Party. I wouldn't claim that. It's just like it's like I'm the founder of this. It's like top clown in a clown car. It's just like you're the first one to get out. It's like, hey, like, and then you got like all these people coming out. That's just like, it's like, did you see the dollar bill? If you look up in the corner, you can see a triangle. Illuminati confirmed. Reptilian overlords. It's just like, I'm not saying they're all like Illuminati people, but like as I look at their post and as I keep like going through it, I'm just like, you know what? These are just drunk rednecks that just found out that their smartphone can connect to Chrome or Firefox or whatever. It's like, like I just saw this article. Obama's increasing troops like 1,000 here. Goddamn socialists going to take our freedom stolen in FEMA camps.
So you're not a conspiracy theorist. You don't think 9/11 was an inside job? Do you think that jet fuel melts steel beams?
No, like there's people that post, and I always post that when they post something about 9/11 being inside jobs, like jet fuel can't melt steel beams, and they'll like it, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, obviously it's a meme, and I'm making fun of you, because like you get like all these people that suddenly like become engineers when I know they work like night shift at McDonald's. It's like you can't even engineer a Big Mac, bro. It's like, and you're telling me that you somehow know like thermodynamics and like structural like integrity, and then they source this one engineer from one college from like the entire world that's like, well, she says she can. It's like, well, there's some doctors that say like, maybe I should chop off my legs for diabetes, but I'm gonna keep on drinking this 44 ounce. It's like,
right.
You don't even ask for a second opinion. Like ask another engineer, ask someone else that doesn't have like a crappy DeVry degree in like engineering, But
now, what's wrong with DeVry? Where'd you get your college education?
University of Indianapolis. U of I, like Greyhounds.
That's right. Yeah, you. What was your degree in?
Philosophy. But see,
oh, you're serious?
Yeah. See, at least I know my philosophy can melt steel beams because of pure boredom. But like, I don't know about your jet fuel, but. They'll quote one engineer and never get second opinions. I've never heard like stuff like that. And then they imply like, get this, like they live in the Midwest where like a tornado can like take out an entire trailer park. You know what I mean? It's like boom, trailer park gone, house is smashed to trees, and like one tree will like totally annihilate a house. But somehow they can't like fathom like a 747, like it's like hundreds of tons of like metal and jet fuel slamming into a tower will knock it down.
Right.
I mean, like they play Jenga. I mean, you have to know like how this stuff works. And then you had like Christie being like, I hug people from 9/11. It's like that was 12 years ago, bro. It's like talking about the ex no one cares about anymore. It's just like he's like, oh, well, you telling me I hugged all these people? It's like, well, like, that sounds creepy. Like I got this dude fucking angel food cake smeared across his face, but like, hug me because you're a victim.
You just go around hugging victims. That's what he does. He's a victim hugger.
Yeah, but does he hug every victim? Like, does he go around the world like
like domestic violence centers and just starts hugging? And...
Yeah, he's like, I'm with you. I need material for the debates. But it was just like, let me give you some hugs, more hugs. Here's some hugs. He's like, he's not a presidential candidate. He's a Care Bear.
Oh, what if he were a Care Bear? What would his Care Bear name be?
I don't know, Pierogi Bear, because he probably pounds like 20 of those a day.
Pierogi Bear.
Have you done leg day? I think I commented on like.
No, I went to the gym.
That's right. No one does leg day.
Right. I went to the gym a little bit ago. I have been in an awful mood today. I wanted to murder everyone that I've come across. And I went to the gym, and I worked out a little bit, and now I only want to murder some of the people in the world and only some of the things. So.
Are you like the dude that sets off the lunk alarm? I think we talked about this before at Planet Fitness, where it's like, it's all these like middle-aged women being like, I gotta lose weight or my husband's just not gonna give a shit no more. So like they're on the treadmill, you know what I mean? You're running, and you're over there with like doing like cleaving jerks and stuff, be like, ugh, and they're like, lunk alarm, man.
What James is referring to, for those of you that are not my Facebook friend, I've been working out, and my profile picture right now, where this is August 13th of 2015, I posted a photo a week or two ago of my progress from 330 down to 270, and I didn't realize how much weight I lost, and like my childhood hero, Chick McGee, walked in one day and goes, wow, I didn't realize how fucking fat you were, which that was great. And so I've been, I did it all by diet, just eating smoothies the last month, but then before that, just a lot of fruit, vegetables, whole grains like rice, just really cutting my portions and using the MyFitnessPal app and counting my calories. I was eating 5,000 calories 3 times a day of fast food. And so I just started I just started exercising recently, like walking a mile a day, and I started going to the gym, and I'm starting to learn to like going to the gym and lifting weights. I did not like it at first. I preferred my long walks out in the sunlight, but no. See, when in the beginning, when I went, I didn't want to go because I felt like, and this is a totally narcissistic thought, everybody's going to be staring at me. And they're going to laugh at the fat kid in the gym who doesn't know what he's doing, because I didn't know what he was doing. The first day I walked in there, the delt flies. You like sit facing the machine. Your arms are in front of you like you're an airplane pilot, and then you like butterfly your arms out. I like tried to push them in and touch my hands. I looked ridiculous. The trainers came over and helped me figure out how to do it. It was so embarrassing. But now, like, I don't think people judge you if you don't know what you're doing. I think people judge you if you don't take care of yourself. So, no, I go in there and I just kind of, no, I don't make any noise. No, I'm silent but deadly. That's when you go in the gym and you start lifting for gains. I mean, are you like? Can you imagine the noise Creighton makes when he's lifting?
Like, I imagine it like an awkward experience for like all the people there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it could be like a yoga class, like they book a yoga class.
Oh yeah, downward dog.
And then like the trainers would be like, "Could you tone it down? We're having like a child's yoga class." And he would just make eye contact with the kids and like, "What you gonna do, brother? When his pythons come for you?" And they don't know who Hulk Hogan is. And it's like, stop, Creighton. Like I've never really lifted. Like, I make other people lift for me. Like,
okay.
You know, it's just like, hey, like, I lift this stuff up, lift this couch. You know, like I puss out of it every time. It's like, you know, hey, we want to move your desk to your office? Oh, let me just type up some Excel sheets. It's like, so, you know, like the most exercise I get is like wrist exercise.
Okay.
I mean,
when you're what, playing guitar or beating off?
Like a whole plethora of stuff, you know.
Okay,
I posted my daily schedule, which involves talking to the people like and we are Libertarians.
Here, I'll pull it up. Let me,
Brazzers.
A lot of you get a lot of brazzers in during the day.
I mean, it is what it is.
I got to be honest. I was pretty impressed with your. How old are you?
Like 28.
I don't know. That's when it starts to slow down a little bit.
Like, the only thing that slows me down is actually nothing slows me down. I run on pure hatred. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's like there's like a Star Wars character where it's like hate keeps you alive and stuff.
Okay.
It's just like I mean, even if I die, like, I think I posted like my Alcor like things. It's like, you know, I don't die. I just simply get frozen to come back at a future time to look at the memes of the future.
What are the memes of the future like?
I don't know. Like, I bet they're gonna suck though. You know, it's just like,
well, not if you don't invest in our children now and start photoshopping things.
oh,
All right, so here's James Nease's daily internet schedule. He posted this on the Lord's Day, Sunday, 10:29 p.m. My daily internet schedule, 9 a.m., Brazzers. 10 a.m., check email. That's an hour of Brazzers. That's impressive.
There's a lot of Japanese, like, squid porn to go through, man.
All right, okay.
Like, I'm talking hundreds of thousands of videos.
11 a.m., Brazzers. That's another hour of Brazzers, by the way. Noon, I am Greg Lins about some bullshit. 1 p.m., that's an hour of talking to Greg Lins. That's a task. 1 p.m., play shitty Facebook games. 2 p.m., post racist shit in brutalist groups. 3 p.m., copy and paste racist shit to Joe Ruiz. 4 p.m., and fuck you for this, cycle through Chris Spangle motivational posts. 5 p.m., Brazzers. 6 p.m., send sexually explicit messages to Julie. I mean, I assume that means Julie B. Borowski, right?
I mean, she's in the brutalist group, so like,
right.
I can tag her and I say aggressive things to her. You know, it's just like, hey, if you can't hang with it, freedom of speech.
Right. 5 p.m., Brazzers. 6 p.m., send sexually explicit messages to Julie. 7 p.m., troll liberal websites. 8 p.m., Brazzers. 9 p.m., Craigslist. What do you do on Craigslist?
Buying sofas.
Okay. How many sofas do you have?
I mean, I just cycle through for like junk, like the free stuff. I'm like, man, it's a sick sofa. Or, dude, that TV's only got like a huge crack in it. I can get that fixed.
10 p.m. Say more racist stuff to Joe Ruiz. Should work in Aria in there. Aria Torres. 11 p.m. Brazzers. Midnight. Blare the Mortal Kombat theme while watching Holocaust videos. What are Holocaust videos?
I mean, I just go through, like, there's, like, a gore website, and I'm just like, oh, it's like, did you post, like, videos that are not shown on the media? So it's just like, okay, if I'm going to look at an ISIS video or something, it's like, oh, damn, dude, that dude got wrecked, you know? It's just, it's a hobby.
Okay, damn, that dude got wrecked, and you're talking about the Holocaust. The opinions expressed by James Nease are not those of We Are Libertarians, its hosts.
I mean, it's been long enough that, you know, we can say that they got wrecked. It's just like, you know, when I see like a fight in the hood, that dude got wrecked. Okay, it's just like, just take your punches where they lie. It's just like,
those are Holocaust victims you're talking about.
It's 50 years ago. Like 9/11 was 100 years ago.
Let's see.
You know what cracks me up about Joe Ruiz? He's doing the acting thing now.
Right.
And like, I hope that, you know, because I know that he's like Latino or Filipino or something. Some sort of Asian Mexican mix. I don't really know. He's kind of like The Rock. You really don't know what he is.
Right.
But, you know, I just keep thinking, it's like, you know, they're going to cast him as like the stereotypical Mexican dude. I mean, he looks like Pitbull, so he might be like a Pitbull stunt double. You know, it's like it's like Joe Ruiz and Rihanna or something.
Some of that may have already happened.
God,
I can say no more.
I don't know, but he's got like, he's just like, you know, we paid for his acting classes. I think he kind of owes us, like, you know, right here in the living room, like, show us what he's got. You know, it's like,
are you telling him to dance for you?
Is that what he does?
Yeah, he dances.
It's pretty gay.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, like, is it cool dancing? Is he like doing what? Like,
I don't know. He just said he's a dancer now.
I want to like look into the source of that. I want to know if he's like professional dancing or like down there at like, you know,
PT show club.
Yeah, this is like, it's like, and here he is, like the Latin heat. It's like, boom. It's like, damn, Joe.
Oh, you know, your phrase "parallel Mexican" has really taken off. It has entered the lexicon. People are saying "parallel Mexican" that don't even listen to this podcast.
I mean, it's a proper assessment. These countries are parallel to Mexico. It's just, I mean, like, do you even know like how many countries are in South America? I mean, like, you'll get Brazil, Colombia,
at least 32.
Yeah, you'll get Argentina. You might get Chile if you're like, you know, really pushing it. But what about Paraguay or Ecuador or like whatever else? Like there, I don't even know.
Belize. Actually, that's Central America, isn't it? I don't know. See, I don't know. Costa Rica,
listen,
whatever.
There's no such thing as Central America. That's just those countries trying to feel different.
That's like the participation trophy.
Yeah, it's like
geography.
Welcome to Central America. It's like you're below Mexico. You're the South. It's just like we consider like Kentucky the South. We even consider Indiana the South. Like in Frankfurt, we had a bunch of people with like Confederate flags like roll up to Walmart and like, you know, as the good libertarian I am. Like, I had, like, all my bumper stickers and stuff like that. I'm like...
All white bumper stickers?
Blue, red, and white. These colors don't run, bro.
Okay.
So, like, you know, these people in my town, like, there's a Walmart and there's, like, a Rural King. And, like, you stay parked outside this Rural King till, like, 2 in the morning, just, like, chewing tobacco, smoking, and showing off whatever scam they
listening
have.
to George Strait.
Yeah, so I walk up and I'm like, oh, I'm James Nease, blah, 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 Libertarian Party. And they took a whole bunch of bumper stickers because it said, like, maximum freedom. So they're like, yeah, you know. But as I was talking to them, like, yeah, like, we want to fly your flag. I'm like, all right, just fly your flag. I don't really care. I think you look like Hicks because you live in, like, central Indiana and you're flying the flag because it's heritage. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure your family's never left the Ohio region. So,
right.
You know, so like I was
talking they go to Lake Cumberland and they get a houseboat.
Yeah, they're like, so you libertarians, what do you support? Fag marriage? And I was like, it's in our platform right there. He's like, I don't think fags should get married, but I think I should smoke so much weed. It's like, and I'm just like, part of me is like cringing inside because like, you know, voters are voter, like people are people, but. I'm just like, man, just go back to your factory. I'm like, just
what now? Why does he have to work in a factory? Why are you factory work is good work? Have you ever worked in a factory?
Oh, I put many hours in Gander Mountain.
Okay, all right.
And it's pretty terrible. I won't lie. It's like they entice you, and it's like, hey, $12 an hour, and you're like, oh yeah,
that's enticing. I'll tell you what, I'm enticed.
I'm surprised by the Xfinity, bonus packages I can get with that money, but it's like it's like it's grunt work and like you're easily replaceable. Like the issue I've talked about with like these staffing firms is like there's thousands of people like because it's unskilled labor. Like they can fire everybody in that factory and replace you in a day, and it's just like man. And these people are like always on my job boards being like, NTK is hiring $12 an hour. And these people are like, oh, hell yeah. And I'm like, this job sucks. And like, how much do you make? I'm like, I make a salary. That's called, check out this degree. It's just like, throw it on the table. It's like, it's called applying yourself.
I like that James Nease is your life coach. If James Nease is your life coach, you're either doing something horribly wrong or wonderfully right.
Listen, I volunteer time at the score office. Like small business people come in, like they'll talk to me about how like to handle like computer systems there, and I do like hand out like certificates for like MTA, like associate's degrees for Microsoft technicians. And like I keep telling people, dude, it takes like an hour. Go take the goddamn test at Ivy Tech. It's like your minimum starting wage as a computer tech with that like certification is like $18 an hour.
Wow.
And they don't do it. It's just like oh, I don't want to do it. I'm fucking fry cook at McDonald's, and I'm just like, why? Do you know what? You know how to reboot a computer? That's all you have to know.
That's literally all you do in the IT department is just turn it off and turn it back on.
Yeah, so they want these minimum wage like hikes, and it's just like, man, dude, it's like there's like thousands of IT jobs in Indianapolis, and like no one's filling them. It's just like, dude, you can get one certification and just shit talk the dude in your interview because you're not getting interviewed by the HR people, you're getting interviewed by the IT manager, and that dude's probably socially crippled anyway. It's just like, So
now you're talking to at least 5/8 of our audience, so please be respectful.
Come on, let's be real. Well, at the Libertarian function, there's like 5 or 6 people at that function that has like IT degrees or something like that.
Right. And that's out of the 8 people that are there, right?
Yeah, it's like, okay, so like we'll put them on the table. It's like Jesse Riddle, like Michael Schulzeis, Sean Shepard, and Carl Techenhost or whatever. It's just like,
right.
And you name one of those dudes that's not socially awkward. It's just like, it's like, man, I could totally tell like you spend more time talking to a computer than a person.
Right. Okay.
And it's like, and I'm just like, man, I do it too, but like at least I have swag, at least when I do IT, I got like a bottle of Captain Morgan in my hand, just like shouting, shit across the hall. It's just like,
so you're just proud that you're a bad employee then. That's basically what you're saying.
I'm the greatest employee because I migrate servers all day. So like if I want to come in like hammered and be like, hey, I'm here to set your VLAN and do it, they're like, that dude knows what he's doing. And I'm like,
because he's doing it drunk.
Yeah, I mean like I can remote in and do stuff. It's like hell, dude. There's days I don't have to come in. I can just sit at home in my boxers, like click a button and just do all my work from home in my boxers. Because some people like work from home, and I just imagine them just like, oh, running the kids here or doing this thing. Work from home is like me vaping and liquor and just being like, check your TCP/IP settings.
It's noon, time for brazzers.
It's 9 a.m. I'm a little bit drunk.
I think anybody who works from home, they just sit around in their underpants. They beat off 2 or 3 times. They, and then they do laundry or whatever. They're not. I worked from home when I worked at the LPIN a lot, and that's pretty much all I did.
Man, I don't even do laundry. Like,
well, clearly, look at you.
I know. Like, this is dirty clothes. I'm just like, just throw it on, bro. Just go to work. Throw it on. But, like, it's not that I hate laundry. It's like I remember washing stuff in the sink when I just didn't want to do like a whole load of laundry.
But that's so much more work than like putting it in the laundry machine and turning it on.
No, it's not, because I got like one of those like jet head things on like my sink, and like I just tape it down and just like let it swirl.
Tape it down. But again, now you're taping things. Like, just put it in the machine, pour in the thing, turn on the buttons, and walk away. That's it.
but then I have to get up and go get it out with the sink. I can just, you know, I can multitask. I can, you know, cook whatever abortion of a steak I'm making, then take a stick and swirl my clothes and hang them up on something and be like, okay, we're done.
But you realize that you are washing your dirty underpants in the very place that you are preparing your food and washing your dishes. You've got your balls are all over your plates now. You might as well just be eating balls all day.
I mean, it's for the ladies. I mean,
it's for the ladies.
For the ladies, you know.
Right.
You might not know it, but
would you like to taste my balls? No. Well, you already have. Is that another one of your lines, along with Hulu and Chill?
Hulu and Chill. No, like, I don't know. I got to go hang with people tomorrow. I guess I can tell everybody that there's like a picnic I'm going to. I'm going to tell them all to come back to my house and Netflix and chill.
No, Hulu and chill, man.
I know.
Or get crazy and Amazon Prime and chill.
Man, no, they don't even have good deals.
I know. You get on Amazon Prime. What are you going to watch?
Like, we order everything online at the company I work for through Amazon Prime, and I just go straight to Goodwill. I'll be like, $4.
Do they have an online shipping division now?
No, like
you can get your faded flower framed picture for $2 online.
No, but I can cruise like the mean streets of Michigan Road and like the pyramid area. Just cruise like up, stop at the Goodwill. Like, it's winging it. Better get some hot wings. You know.
There is a strip mall up there that is the greatest white trash strip mall of all time. It's a Tasties shop where you can go to the sex toy store. You can then go get your paycheck cashed. Then you can go to the tobacco outlet. Then you can go to the liquor store. And I think there's something else there. You're
talking about like the 86 Michigan Road.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's the greatest. That's a white trash one-stop shopping.
I mean, I think there's like a McDonald's over there on the corner too. It's like, man, you can just like
got the marathon station. You can hit the marathon and get your 44-ounce big gulp.
$1 of diabetes, man.
Right. Well, see, now that I am healthy and I judge everyone for their bad behavior, why are you drinking that? I see, like I cringe every time I see somebody walk out with one of those sodas, and I used to drink those, and it just makes you feel terrible. What are you doing to your body, James?
I guess I'm killing it, but like, because this drink is actually killing it. This is a pretty tasty drink. I make a suicide of like 20 different concoctions.
Right.
And like,
because you're in middle school.
Yeah, because I'm like, just dump it through there. But, yeah, they're like $1, and I run off pure sugar. The reason these are bad for you is because one of these is like 1,365 calories or something like that, because 44 ounce, and like I'm one of these people that believe like when you put ice in your drinks, like you're cheating yourself.
Okay.
so like, like a normal 44 ounce for a normal person is probably like, okay, 28 ounces of ice and like a little bit of drink. So it's like, what would be like a normal 28 ounce drink, because you don't understand that ice takes space, and whatever space the ice takes up is what it would be in liquid form.
Yeah, generally people who drink 44-ounce big gulps don't understand the displacement theory. I'm just going out on a limb.
So like, I just go straight liquid, So like, their cup's like, a little bit of drink. You sip it for like 5-10 minutes and it's gone. Mine's just pure liquid, lasts all day, baby. So like mine is equivalent to like what several other people drink. So like a normal one they're basing it off the ice with like the calories. I could drink one of these days and hit my calorie cap.
Yeah, but why would you want to do that?
Because like, it's delicious.
You're still a beanpole though. Do you not eat?
Well, like I eat random stuff. I mean, like I cook stuff at home. I eat a lot of like raw meat and like raw fish. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because like I'm all about the raw stuff.
Well, that's not an explanation. You eat raw steak? Like, do you cook it at all?
Yeah, like 2 minutes each side.
Oh my gosh!
So it's not even rare. It's called blue.
Yeah.
And that's like the rarest of rare steaks. I mean, like,
it's raw.
It's like get that Kobe beef, chop it up and stuff. It's like, okay, great, But I hate buying like meat because like I never buy vegetables or fruits or grains. It's just like there's like a fridge full of like dead animal carcasses. I'm like, look, I better get out the chicken, And I got like a bunch of spices, like hundreds of. I'm just like throwing whatever in it. So like, I eat a lot of like raw fish and rice. So like my Asian diet counteracts the really American diet that I'm eating by like a 44 ounce.
And you don't ever get like intestinal issues from that?
No. Sometimes I piss clear from the pure amount of liquid I've drunk. But
well, that's not bad. That's you want your pee to be clear.
I mean, sometimes like I
like that. That's a symptom. You have a. Do you ever get sick? Oh, well, my pee's clear. Like, okay.
It's not that yellow tint, just that pure.
It's not dark brown.
But no, like I just kind of grab whatever meat and just kind of toss it on there.
You eat like Chris Christie. You're on the Chris Christie diet.
Yeah, but unlike him, like I know how to like kill it. You know, he just kind of, I guess, goes overboard. Well, he buys like $9,000 in like appetizers. You know, like beer nuts and.
What?
He spent like $9,000 on like hot dogs and shit. It's like
where?
Whatever stadium he goes to, like chill.
He goes to stadium and chill, and then he has $9,000 worth of hot dogs.
Like it was like whatever tab he spent like that whole year as like governor was like $18,000, $9,000 in this one place. He's like, I'm like, who buys $18,000 worth of food? It's like, you know. Do you import it from...
Well, he's not eating it all himself. Let's be fair to him.
Well, let's be fair, too. He's actually pretty big, so...
It is, and he had the lap band surgery.
What? Did it break from, like...
I guess.
Did he talk so much shit he knocked it out?
It's not... I mean, you get the lap band surgery, you've got to... Like, actually, I mean, your stomach is like the size of a grape or something. And you can actually pop the band, or you can... You know, your stomach can grow back. And if you really eat too much, like that band will like split your stomach in half. He may be like a cow now. He's got 4 stomachs.
The first stomach's to grind it up with like stones.
Right,
He's
eating.
I want to know what every...
He's got a gizzard.
I want to know what every presidential candidate eats. Like their daily diet, you know what I mean? Like
right.
What is Ben Carson eating? I don't know. Like, you know, what is Rand Paul eating? What is whoever else is running? Like, I don't know. There are no names. Like Cruz.
I know what Lindsey Graham's eating.
I don't know what he's eating either.
Well, I do.
Is he eating ass?
Yeah, actually.
I've been to Charleston. I've seen what the people of Charleston, South Carolina look like. A lot of Greg Lynn's down there.
What does that mean?
Like polos, like pastel polos, like
right.
Ball caps and like shorts and like loafers or
boat shoes.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm sitting there drinking on like, you know, the rooftop, which is like a bar in Charleston, looking down, watching all these people in pastels walk by, and like then I told Lenz about it, and Lenz was like, "Yeah, man, that's my chill spot." I'm like, "I bet it would. Why don't you go to Hilton Head, bro? Just, like going golfing."
Aw. Who's your choice for president this year?
Like, I would say just like troll mode Trump, because it's like he's not the candidate we need, but he's the candidate you deserve. You know what I mean? It's just like I will cast a vote for him for the sheer fact that he will fuck shit up, and like I know he will. It will be funny. Like,
right.
It's just the fact that like that Fox News lady was like, "Why do you treat women like shit?" Then he like, took to Twitter. He's like, "Why don't you get off the rag?" I'm like, then that caucus thing or whatever, like the red state event, like we can't allow like that sort of misogyny to come here. And then the guy, not even like a day later, was like, "You know what?" He's like, "I think women, these social justice warrior feminists, are a bunch of fucking cunts." I'm like,
is that a quote?
Yeah.
That's a quote.
Yeah, that guy says shit like that all the time. He's like, Twitter's nothing but like racism and like sexism. So he's like hitting Trump because he called. It's like, oh, because you called the spokesperson for Fox, which is like, I don't know, is a guy trying to bang her, defending her? Like, who white knights a lady like that? You know,
who's white knighting Megyn Kelly?
I mean, is that her name? I don't even know her name, because I just see her as like blonde bimbo number 5'6" for Fox, because like they got these cycle of women they bring in, except that one that looked like a man. Like, who's her name?
Kimberly Guilfoyle.
I mean, whoever, she looked like a man, and I was like, that's some Bruce Jenner face going on.
Oh, yeah, that's Kimberly Guilfoyle. I think she's beautiful. I'm trying to white knight it though.
I mean,
in case she listens.
White knighting. I mean, the only time I'd ever white knight is like.
Can you explain what white knighting is for the people?
White knighting is when someone attacks like a woman on the internet, and by virtue of being a woman on the internet, there's going to be like 5 or 6 dudes that think by defending her that somehow she'll fuck them.
Right.
So it's just like, well, I saved that maiden, so definitely she'll fuck me. It's like, no. It's like, she's just going to, like, post on Tumblr tomorrow and not give a shit. And it's usually done by people wearing fedoras and with atheist quotes on their profile.
And a fedora and an atheist quote always go together.
Yeah, like, if that would be my number 2 people putting in the camps. If I see some dude with 8 Carl Sagan and, like, Richard Dawkins quotes on his profile, like, fedora, talking about Xbox and, like, all that
black
shit.
T-shirts, lots of black T-shirts and shorts.
If he's got, like, over 500 Reddit subscriptions, he's getting gassed. Like, what
does getting gassed mean?
Yeah. He's going into my chambers, dude.
Like, okay. He's getting murdered. I see. That's genocide.
That's Brutus Overload 101. And it's not even genocide because that's assuming fedora fags are people.
Okay. Oh, wow. You went full Hitler there.
It's not Hitler because I think the world would be a better place.
Well, yeah, but Hitler thought the world would be a better place without the Jews. So
we can take a poll right now. I bet I can get like 80% of the population to
agree. You've scapegoated all the world's problems on baby boomers and white knighting fedora wearing libertarians, atheists.
They're not libertarians so much to say as like they're just, I don't know, gross. I mean, they never attend the LP conventions, but they do attend like Gen Con, and they're always like hanging around, being like, "This girl's Sakio costume's pretty hot. I should go talk to her, bro." It's like, no, the D&D tent started. It's like, it's just like whatever. You tip that fedora. It's like, I had a dude. I kid you not. When I went to Subway with the fedora, and because they think they're clever. That this guy comes in, right? He's like, he had to be like 24, 23, like young kid, scraggly beard. You know what I mean? You know the type.
Yeah, no mustache. Yeah, the mustache doesn't connect to the neck beard.
The neck beard,
right? Yeah,
fedora and trip pants and like some graphic tee of like some random like emo band or something.
Right.
And he comes in, he's like, "Do you know what the Beast is?" And it's like, the lady at the counter is like, "No." And he's like, "The Beast is everything. Just you make this huge sandwich." And like it took like 15 minutes, and then he pays with like change and stuff. No. So he held up a line of like 10 people. Like for one, if you're gonna order food, like you're not gonna eat that whole goddamn thing. You're just doing that just to be like an edge fag.
Okay, what does that mean?
You're just being edgy because there's an audience there.
I got you.
So he's just
showing
like,
off, right?
Showing off, like, "Oh, there's a Beast." I'm like, I know what the Beast was in 1994, like when they released it. Like, did you read that on Reddit? It's like,
right.
Yeah, and he just held up the whole line. No one liked the dude. Then he leaves with his Beast, and it's just like, you paid like $24 for a sandwich you're only going to eat half of, just to impress all the people that I think he was trying to impress everybody in like the the restaurant. Right. But it's like no one cares, dude.
Because a woman will see him ordering the Beast and immediately want to sleep with him.
Yeah, it's like, you see that? All the meats.
Would you like to come back in Amazon Prime and chill?
Yeah.
Actually, it'd probably be, would you like to come back and Steam and chill?
Don't worry, girl. I got the new like Skyrim mod pack. It's called Horse Dick.
What?
There's the Skyrim mod pack where you can like apply the patch, and like all the characters have like these huge like 14-inch dicks, and it's just like,
what are you nerds doing? What is going on in the internet?
Because like you can have sex in Skyrim, you know what I mean? So like,
okay.
So like these people like 14-inch dicks, I guess, because like just to show those women what's up. And
yeah, because women love 14-inch dicks.
Well, it's like the people like when I took over the Brutalist group, I called them cucks. It's like
right. We need to discuss that because that was the ultimate. John Upton, one of our fellow Brutalist friends, he appointed you the admin of probably the largest Brutalist group with like 1,000 people, and these people are just Brutalists are they try to out scumbag each other on the internet. Post, everybody's real edgy. Everybody is, in their opinion,
a lot of fedoras in there.
Yeah, and it seems like genuinely nice people, but people who are just offended by nothing, and it's a lot of the Reddit crowd. And then they introduced 4chan here, the 4chan incarnate named James Nease, and we add him to all the Brutalist groups because they're troll groups. So we figured what better way to troll these groups than to add James Nease. You genuinely just you don't have any filter. You just do and say whatever.
I mean, I totally stalling them. See, like what
right,
happened
yeah.
was like I got promoted to admin, and then like the dead of night,
and then you deleted every other admin, so you had ultimate power.
It's like I Trotsky'd every single one of them with like an ice pick. It's like no more mods. Now I changed the group tag, so like to search for the Brutalist groups, you got to like type in like facebook.com/ like cuck lovers. And like I just called them cucks and like put like a bunch of like cuck porn on there.
Why don't you explain what that is?
Cuck porn is basically like a guy that basically gets off by watching his wife get fucked by another dude.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, like it's the quintessential like beta male thing where it's like a lot of things have to do with the fetish tend to involve like humiliation with the dude. So like the guy that's getting cucked is his wife's fucking some dude, and he has to like gets tied down, forced to watch, beg just to like touch his wife and stuff. So it's a lot of beta, like bullshit. But it's usually like done by like a dude with like they usually hire a guy called a bull, which is like a dude with like a huge dick to fuck his wife, and like part of the like ongoing
you're going on with this is the longest thing that I mean, of all the things you've talked about, you talking like 30-second sound clips. Mm-hmm. This is like going on for 2 minutes. You know way more about this than you should.
About my cuck stuff?
Yeah, you're really a cuck expert.
Brazzers.
Brazzers, by the way, is a website. If you
I know a lot of fetishes. It's
look it up. Look it up at work.
Yeah. But it's, like I said, it's just a thing that gets off by power play by letting the wife kind of like decide, like, I'm not going to fuck a dude. So I accused him of that as like being beta and stuff.
And then you made a photo of me as the group photo. And that nobody knew who I was because I don't really participate.
It's like, who's this dude? I'm like, whatever. He's the mascot now. And so then I changed the group to like Libertarians for Natalia Podolsky, which is like the Attorney General of like Ukraine and Russia area, the
hot
Crimea.
One. Yeah.
So I made it that, and I tagged like different tags like Russia, and like I tagged it in Kralik too. So like now all the people joining the Libertarian group are a bunch of people from like Czechoslovakia and like all these Bosnia and Herzegovina. So a lot of these Slavic people are joining.
People add me to groups all the time, and I hate it. Stop it. So I was like, who added me to this group, and what is this? And then I realized what it was. But it was a James Nease special.
Yeah, I mean, the group's pretty fine. Like, I just tag, like, the high-profile people sometimes, like Julie and, like, Chris Cantwell and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, I call Chris Cantwell, like, the most beta dude in here and stuff like that. And, like, he responded. He's like, I don't understand. I'm like, of course you don't, you beta fuck. Tag Julie and, like, random things, too. And, like, it's just... I guess I like to push the buttons because, like, they're celebrities. And it's just like, it's like, hey... Look who I am. Like, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you a loser. It's just like, hey, like, what does Julie do? Just does that Libertarian Girl podcast, like the YouTube things where it's like, hey, guys, I'm a Libertarian. It's like, hey, I'm a Libertarian too, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you really don't. Like, and it is funny because in the Libertarian world and in life, everybody acts like they're still in elementary school and that there's in middle school and high school. Like, there's still this social order. And you have, like, no concept of social order. like if Barack Obama were sitting here, everybody be worshiping Barack Obama's feet because he's president, and he'd be like, "What's up, dog?
What up, dog? You wanna? I got a Tupac CD. I got Tupacalypse now, baby.
Right.
See no changes."
That's the funniest thing about Nease is that he has no concept of like where people fit in society and has no. And if you have any concept of where like people think that you should fit in that social order, you legitimately do not care. Like somebody like Maya cares, but understands all that and rebels against it and preaches against it and blah blah blah. You like the scariest thing is when somebody just legitimately does not care about something. Mm-hmm. Like you literally don't care about social order. You are the Joker of. Listen, of all my friends.
When I cruise down 10th Street and I'm bumping Wu-Tang Clan, I don't turn my radio down like some white people. It's like if some like black person looks over, like, what the fuck you doing, white boy? I'm like, nah, shit. $dollar bill, y'all.
Is that a Limp Bizkit phrase?
It's a Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, okay.
You gotta get cream, get that money, bro.
Oh, okay.
But... I don't really care too much. It's like, I walk down the street. Like, people are scared. I don't really want to walk down. Like, it's 3 a.m, crackheads. It's like, I'll walk down. I'd probably score a dime bag. Like, what?
Right. You are a real unique individual, that's for sure.
I mean, yeah, I keep it real. I mean, I have like rivalries, like Brett Bittner's a rival.
Yeah, how did that?
Fucking Hot Atlanta.
Greg and I are doing a podcast tomorrow. So Brett is going to be on the podcast tomorrow. So you get two episodes this week. What is the deal with you and Brett?
I mean, it's like a rap beef. You know what I mean? Like,
right. How did this develop?
Because Hot Atlanta likes to be a dick, and like
meaning Brett.
He's a dick. Yeah, it's like all right, whatever. Because like I was trying to do databases for the Libertarian Party, and like I'm very like results driven. Like it's weird, right?
Right.
I'm like I have all the skills. I've done this for years. I can get this database done. I have a nation builder that I compiled into like a SQL database in less than a day. Much to like the VP of the Libertarian Party, Carl hasn't done it. He's an IT consultant. He should have had it done. So like my rap beef with some of these other libertarians are basically because libertarians have like an issue with trying to get like multiple opinions from like hundreds of people,
right.
Like a council of people, like the LNC is like, we need to meet in November to discuss this issue. And like I went straight to the radical group and I said, whatever chair can give me a database right now and forward it to me against the LNC's thing, I will compile the database. Like you don't have to listen to those losers. It's like,
right.
And Brett's like, if you want to make changes, you come to Indiana, you come to Virginia or wherever the convention is and make changes. I'm like, I don't have time to listen to a bunch of old people I don't give a shit about talk about issues I don't care about.
Right.
And it's like, so he wants me to go to these meetings, and I'm like, I don't care. I really don't. Who's going to be there? George Phillies? Pauly Cannoli. I don't give a shit who these old fucks are. Who gives a shit? And like, it's like, just give me the material. I'll get it done. You know, it's like some CEO level shit. Just get it done. But he's like, oh, he made this like hasty message where he's like, you don't do shit. Like I attend all these meetings. I'm like, I'm glad that in your cool advocate's job you can fly around delivering fucking charts to people. It's like.
He is the world's most political quiz Santa Claus, apparently.
Like, okay, you go do that. I mean, he has a lot of free time to do these things. Like there's a difference between like my career and what his career is. Like his career is very people that get into politics. Like you're just wasting that. It's just talking to people all day. It is what it is. What he does is sell these charts, talks to does speaking engagements. Does this stuff. It's just talking to a bunch of losers all day. So
okay, so that's our audience. The people listening are not losers. Okay.
They know what they are. It's like
oh God, they know what they are.
But it's and like I can't attend these meetings. Like like I do stuff at SCORE. Like I mentor. I run the IT systems there. I run like a company that does software development. I do IT work at at this autistic facility. I'm running like 3 people's campaigns in Frankfurt. It's like I don't have time to sit down with like drinking beers or whatever with like a bunch of old libertarians that, I mean, unless they're giving me money for these campaigns, I don't give a shit what their opinion is.
Right.
It's like it is what it is. And I try to tell Nicholas Sawatic like the reason why your IT sucks dick is because you don't appoint somebody. Like, oh, it has to go through LNC. Like, don't give the executive director more power. It's just like,
right.
I try to discuss this with them all the time. They just ignore it. And I'm like, they're like, you're just a douche paying. Remember, I'm not giving you guys money. Go fuck yourself, But,
right, because it's inefficient. And that's the problem of any kind of organization. You have anytime you are ruled by a board, and you're so right. Like, not necessarily about Brett Bittner and some of this, but in terms of the Libertarian Party, I think it's indicative of most nonprofits that have all the power resting with their board as opposed to all the power resting with an executive director and the staff, where the way that it's supposed to work is the board is just there for guidance and to raise money and to settle issues and to set the direction of the organization and to provide accountability for the staff. But the staff runs the day-to-day stuff. The way that the LNC, the National Party, works, and it's the staff has zero power. Everything runs through the board, so it's all these busy people who read emails and respond 3 days later, and nothing ever gets done. It's just so ridiculous. It's why all the roles are declining. It's just because there is no common sense at the National Libertarian Party because it is so dysfunctional. It's not dysfunctional because the people are dysfunctional. It's because the culture of the institution is dysfunctional. It's just this is the way that it's always been, and it's hard to change culture when your leadership changes every 4 years.
But yeah,
and yeah, you're right. I mean, and so libertarian parties and any political organization, you got to have leadership. I guess that's kind of missing from the National Libertarian Party.
I don't hate Brett Bittner. I have a great track record with like organizational restructuring. Ask the Brutalist Group.
Okay, very good. So, are you running for chair of the National Libertarian Party? Are you gonna Brutalist Group the National Libertarian Party? Is that what you're saying?
That would be the most lolziest thing I could do. It's like I would do it like because I told people it's like because there's a lot of people that sign up for shit for the LP and I'm like, hey, dude, I did the whole Clinton County Fair by myself. Like, tornadoes hitting me and like, son, right. I was the only dude besides Jaime that came at 7. So like I manned the whole booth for a week, even though there's a party and there's like a couple members in Boone County, a couple members in Tippecanoe County, and people in Marion County, and it's like they never came. And like part of my thing was like if I run for chair, like I'm going to start like removing memberships. If you say you're going to do shit, you're not going to do it.
Well, but it's not just a libertarian thing, and I think it's easy to blame. It's just
a volunteer thing.
It's and a human being thing. I think how many of us are just sitting there going, I don't want to. Like today, I didn't want to go to the gym, and like I had committed to meet a couple people there at the gym today at 4:00. I was 15 minutes late. Neither of them were there. I don't think they intended to tell. One said, "Hey, I'm not making it because of this." The other one I'd never heard from. No big deal. It's not like it's any sweat off my back. I didn't want to go either, but I just think it is just a human being thing where I don't know if it's fear or shame or what. It's just sort of I think when people say, "Oh, I'm going to go out and volunteer at the fair," they go, "Oh, but then I'm going to have to talk to people, and I'm going to have to make a time commitment, and I'm going to have to do something that makes me uncomfortable and that I've never done before." And people are they'd just rather be comfortable as opposed to getting out there and talking to people.
I'll tell you how I'm running this election cycle. Like I'm not afraid to talk to people. It's like
right.
So it's what it is. Like the first day of the fair, the Republicans came by to like take some of our stuff to like look over because they're looking for like campaign violations of what they're doing. It's like, oh, like I'm a Republican, but you guys interest me. I'm like, you're a liar.
Right.
So like I go over to their tent and it's like all the Republican candidates this thing. I go over them I'm like, hi, I'm James Nease. They're like, who are you? I'm like, the guy on the pamphlet you took, dude. It's like. I'm like, when's the debates happening? Like right there. I just look at the guy in the face, like, when's the debates happening? He's like, oh, I don't know. Like, are you going to inform me? It's like, because if not, I wouldn't pay like $150 to like Wesley Manor to hold my own debate. I'm inviting them. If they don't show up, I'll blast them. This is empty. You're cool, bro.
All right, yeah. Just don't knock that over my MacBook Pro.
Knock your
please.
MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. But, I'm like, I'll set up my own debate if you don't show. The mayor got on NPR and called me scary because like I'm talking shit to all these Republicans. It's just like
right.
This dude's scary. Like 'cause he wants to like end like tax abatements to like these corporations. He wants to like cut the police force by 50%. We have like 38 officers in a town of 20,000. Like it's an excessive amount because like 90% of like service calls are basically tickets. Like,
right.
You're getting ticketed. So it called it scary. But Chris McBarnes is like he's like the youngest mayor in Frankfurt in like the last like 100 years or so, but his whole thing is basically like he's been building like Ivy Techs and like kind of like a Jim Brainerd just kind of like rebuilding the city with a bunch of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh, get some roundabouts.
Is this the young guy?
Yeah,
the mayor is like 20 or something.
Yeah, the guy that was like compared to rape scandal, a slip and fall incident.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
he's that dude. Like a $13 million lawsuit. So like we called him out all the time. It's just like. There's a Frankfurt discussion forum, and I just blast the dude. Like, I have policy things written down. They read them, and then the news people pick it up, like NPR picked it up, and he's like, oh, I don't know anything about these guys. I'm like, that's horseshit, Chris. Like, you know exactly who I am because I hit you up in 2012. It was like, hey, what are you doing, bro? Like,
right.
It's like, you know who this is, but he, like, talking to people's like that big of a deal. Like, I hold the events all the time, but, like, he, maybe, like, every state party is like an executive director. Indiana needs an executive director. You gonna get your job back, bro?
Oh God, no.
Remember that time like we found out you made less than like national labor standards?
Oh yeah, you did the math, and didn't I make like it was like $6.20 or something?
Yeah, you're not even meeting like federal.
Right.
I'm very libertarian of them, but like,
yeah, I don't know. I think, and I've gone through this too. I think part of it is you're afraid of people thinking you're stupid or weird or whatever, and it's sort of like it's like going to the gym. Nobody's paying attention to me. And you know what? If you walk up to somebody and you say, "Hey, would you like to hear about my candidates?" 50% are going to say no, and the other 50% they're not going to think about you for the rest of the day. Like, stop. It's all in our minds.
I think the problem is, like, they try to be like a hippie, you know what I mean? Like, they pull like the Jerry Titus approach or the Andrew Hornian approach. Let's just huge, expansive messages to get everybody else out there, dude. It's like people are pretty angry, like, just capitalize on that. Like, going out there with those, like, racist hicks with those trucks out there at Rural King, like, they're obviously racist as shit, but I'm going to talk to them anyway. Otherwise, whatever. But getting out there with the Latino community, a lot of libertarians are afraid to go to minority communities to do this stuff. We're out there, like, our candidate's a Latino. That was the first. I mean, he's not like parallel Mexican Latino, so he's actually Mexican.
Oh, good. He's perpendicular Mexican.
Yeah, he's a legitimate Mexican.
All right, good. Step in the right direction.
Yeah,
finally.
So we have those out. So, like, sorry to the other two Mexicans in the Libertarian Party, Aria Torres. It's like, sorry, bro.
Right.
I'm sorry, we're rocking this, like, boat now. Like, but so we're going out there doing that stuff. We have, like, people, like, doing this community things. And it's like, I haven't held back any punches. It's not, especially in like a city race where it's not like national politics. We're like, oh, blah blah blah, gun control, blah blah blah, abortion. You can really, like, focus your issues on, like, this dude's a piece of shit, and this is why. It's like, here's how much money he blew. Here's the rape scandal. Here's this stuff. You can kind of just level it in there. A lot of the libertarians don't like to do that, even when they're doing, like, booths. They don't really like to talk about high-profile issues unless it's, like, waxing philosophical, you know what I mean? This is what the Constitution says about this stuff. Yeah. No one wants to hear about, the Constitution because no one, frankly, gives a shit. Like, you have hundreds of people, thousands of people in town that probably don't care. The only thing they care about is that you're getting that goddamn pothole fixed, Right. So things that affect them immediately. But a lot of libertarians, when they go out there, don't want to talk about that stuff. It's just like, oh, we'll talk about what the Senate's doing or international affairs, because it's more fun to talk about.
Sure.
Instead of, like, let me talk to you about the wastewater facility.
And it's easier for libertarians or any person to find out information on national issues than it is to go find out about what's happening at the wastewater treatment plant. I mean, it takes effort. And, you've got to make an effort, and this is what I always would preach to people. It's like, you're going to run for office and go and actually, like, learn what's going on in your city. Go to a city council meeting. I mean, I have numerous stories of the time I served as executive director of the Libertarian Party of Indiana, where people would just go to the county council meetings and videotape it and would stop major deals from major corruption that was happening in Rush County was stopped just because 5 people showed up every week or whatever it was. It was like once a month. How it is not that much of a commitment. If you're going to run for a city council race, you damn well ought to go to the city council meetings for the year leading up to it and figure out the issues and talk to people. And not because you're, I think, not because you're trying to be sneaky, but because you're a concerned citizen who genuinely wants to know. And, here's the thing. Just be an authentic human being. Just tell the truth. Explain why you're there. You don't have to be sneaky. Don't play games. And I think that goes for candidates as well. Like, or when you're talking to people, like, don't try and trick people. Don't try and figure out what's going to. Obviously, you want to talk to people about the issues that they care about, like you're saying, but you don't have to, like, be sneaky in the way that you say it, because libertarians have the ability to just be authentic. And like we talked about with Donald Trump, people genuinely like Donald Trump because they can tell he's authentic. Now, his authenticity is batshit crazy, and if you look up histrionic personality disorder, the guy nails it. But he comes across, he's expressing that rage. He is like James, where he doesn't give a shit about the social order, and the social order needs to be changed because everybody in Washington, D.C. in politics is full of bullshit. And if you can just be an authentic person and actually talk about issues in an authentic way, and somebody doesn't care, then who cares? It's not, it's not hurting, your ego if somebody doesn't want to talk to you about politics. It shouldn't. If it does, then that's a self-esteem issue that we cannot fix on this program.
You also got to make alliances. It's politics is all about making alliances. It's a lot of libertarians don't want to deal with the Democrats. They want to deal with the Republicans. Frankfurt, Democrats are minority party. There's like 2 on our entire ballot.
Right.
We're 3 libertarians. Technically, we're the secondary party in this county. So
right.
But I understand, like, when people go to the polls, I mean, there's Democrats that are going to go to the polls, they're going to, boom, straight ticket. So I call the other people that are running for Democrats, which are council seats. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, here's what we agree with. Here's what I'm doing. Here's issues that you don't know about that you can talk about because you're not my opponent. I don't really care. Even if you were my opponent, whatever. So, like, I tell the issues. I'm like, when you go out there, here's some of my literature. Can you talk to people about this? And this is a opposition candidate. We're an opposition party. So I said things like that. You want these Republicans gone. There's only one person running against a Republican mayor, and that's a libertarian. If people vote R or D is essentially voting for a Republican this election cycle. So if you don't like where Frankfurt's headed as an opposition, then you vote the opposition, which includes going through and hitting L's where there's L's.
Yeah.
So like talking to these candidates and like really pushing that, like talking to their county chair, talking to their council candidates, and be like, this is what you need to do, man. Like this, don't be afraid to do that. Like they might be your opponent, but whatever. They talk to people. I invite them. I'm the town hall. Like I invite the Democratic candidates. I invite the Republican candidates. I'm like, come here and embarrass yourself. As watch James Nease, the brutalist overlord. Just
well, I think people look at you and they think, oh, well, he's a sideshow. And I fought this battle a long time ago with people like Jerry Titus. He's not a sideshow. If you actually talk to James and listen to James, he's actually really smart. He just doesn't give a shit about. He's just different. You're different. You're you, and people like you or they don't. And people, if they actually get to know you and look past your intricacies or, like your wood nymph appearance.
Jerry's issue was Jerry had all these policy talking points, but Jerry had no way to implement them with reason.
Right.
So, whatever, dude. Let's talk about how, because he's a radical, I guess. He's in the radical group. So, he's talking about libertarian in its purest essence. That's not going to sell.
And you're the philosophy major.
It's like, okay, you can talk about whatever junk you want to. Like, oh, this is what we should do. This is how it should be. Okay, that's how it should be, but that's how it is. That's not how it's going to be in the next 20 years. So, when we talked about, like I said, the minimum wage, it's like, why can't you get a medium ground where, say, okay, if they're going to pass this legislation, why can't you put an addendum on the rider, just to say, we're going to reduce taxes for small business by 20 to 35%. That effectively, the money they lose by a minimum wage increase is offset by a tax burden they no longer pay. And that opens up a gateway when you drop the corporate taxes down like that. It opens up a gateway for a sales-only tax. So you're kind of doing like this domino effect where we'll give you this concession if you work with this. But he never liked that sort of way of thinking because it's not an absolute thing to get done. And it's just like, well, you're running a campaign. What are you going to do when you actually get in the hall? If you don't work with them, dude, you're just going to be that dude sitting in the corner.
Well, yeah, well, I'll keep my mouth shut. But, no, I think, like Justin Moed, you ran against Justin Moed, the guy who got
bitch boy,
who got Sydney leathered.
Part of me, I'm such a troll, but I read his posts sometimes, and I have to fight off the urge to say is that a declaration from the bitch boy?
And you actually got along with him because at first he was like, okay, who's this freak? But then the more he talked to you,
the freak.
Yeah, exactly right. And see, that's my point. Like, James is just exactly who James is, and everybody's like, oh, my. But then they vote for Justin Moed because he seems like this nice, clean boy. And then he's getting Sydney leathered, the guy who brought the sleazy, awful woman who brought down Anthony Weiner was sexting with Justin Moed, the guy that ran against James, and into weird shit. And, to me, I would rather have James, who's on this podcast, talking about Hulu and chill, and just being himself, than a Justin Moed who is hiding who he actually is. I guess you don't need to go out and and talk about your sexual proclivities, but
does that lady have a politician? Because she gets politician and politician. She's like I only accept political clients. I mean,
it's probably a power fetish.
I mean, it's like Justin. There's like hundreds of dominatrix. I'm pretty sure like Melissa does that. She can get back in that game. Sells it a little low. Angie's let's get back in that game.
No, like, but Justin would actually come to you after the election when he was trying to decide on legislation and ask your opinion of it because you made such a good impression on him, and because you're actually engaged, you're actually paying attention to the issues. And I just don't think you can run for an office if you're running for an office as a libertarian and you've never been to a city council meeting and you've never, let's say you're running for state house and you've never been to the state house, you should go. You should go and watch a session. You should go watch archived videos of sessions because I just don't think you can be, I think a part of the reason that libertarian candidates don't win is that people hear the broader themes but they don't hear the specifics, and they can pick up on that bullshit. Like if you're running for city council and you are talking about freedom, but you can't give any details about what is actually happening on the city council, then nobody's going to vote for you. I mean, like it just comes down to authenticity and knowing what you're talking about and running for the office you're seeking.
Town politics is totally different too. Like, all right, I support a Planned Parenthood in there because the teen pregnancy rate's like 18% in Frankfurt, something ridiculous. The heroin outbreak in Boone County and Clinton County is astronomical. And if we look what happened in southern Indiana with like the HIV outbreak, that's pretty close to the Indianapolis hub as well. If you have because the only center that does pregnancy things is like a Baptist ministry that's basically going like, oh, you got knocked up, you should definitely marry him.
Right?
Like, but I'm 16. Well, it's what Jesus would want. That's not productive. Then the mayor's wanting to put like moral authority figures in the school, which is basically just saying like kids don't have sex or you won't get into heaven. That's not effective either. So we need some sort of clinic, to kind of deal with that sort of situation. And there's like libertarians will be like, oh, you can't. That's socialist bullshit. Government money. It's like that's federal government money. Whatever. You're getting back money that's already taken from you. And if what's the cost of like an HIV outbreak? What's the cost of like a heroin outbreak? What's the cost of like half the high school being knocked up by sophomore year? Those are all people that are going to roll into EBT benefits. They're going to roll into like whatever other sort of programs for them. I even introduced a proposal for getting the after I contract most of the police work out to the sheriff's office to kind of cut back on those costs, is to get the sheriff's office like Narcan for like people overdosed on heroin, and a policy of when people are high or they're drunk that you don't lock them up or send them to jail. You involuntarily incarcerate them 72 hours in like a rehab facility.
Right.
Which is like, okay, you don't get a criminal record. I mean, there has to be a limit, like several times or something. I guess you can arrest them, but you just take them to a facility because it doesn't work. You lock up hundreds of people. They're just back out in the street, bond out, whatever. Just take them to like a facility. You're going to arrest them anyway. Just take them to a facility, get them treated. Just practical solutions like that. And it's just, some things are like, oh, it's not libertarian. You can't use those federal programs. I'm like, what? Then half your town's addicted to heroin and knocked up.
Right.
Like, think how much stress that puts on everything else. Then you have the shitty town that's full, like, it'd be like a dead town. Mm-hmm. No one likes a dead town because there's no money. Everybody drives out. Like, half the town leaves for Lebanon or Indianapolis anyway. And if you got a heroin problem on that, teen pregnancy problem on that, no one wants to live there.
Yeah, exactly.
And getting these tax abatements done as well is some of these corporations like Frito-Lay, there's no way you should be giving like $4.5 million tax abatement to Frito-Lay. That's PepsiCo. Like, so you saying PepsiCo doesn't have the money to build an expansion?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like go to any restaurant, Pepsi. Go to any.
But see, these companies are held hostage with the tax abatements because they're holding these towns hostage, because if you don't give the tax abatements, then they can just go to the next town over, the next state over, and move the workforce. And Ohio has counties just like Indiana where there's 20% unemployment, and they'll give you tax abatements to get the jobs. So tax abatements, while libertarians don't like it, it's sort of because Ohio does it, because other counties do it, because other towns do it, then
even in the business sense, if I got denied a $4.5 million tax abatement, at least I understand that Indiana has the lowest cost of business out of the entire 50-state nation. We're like number one in cost of business, or the least amount for cost of business. Our tax system is actually very fair to them, and it would cost them millions of dollars to move the plant from let's say, Clinton County to Ohio or Illinois, which have significantly higher barriers of entry and significantly higher tax areas. So, what is paying $4.5 million in like the taxes you owe in the county, which goes to like the school, because we got to do like some sort of like $14 million school bond measure because they bankrupted the entire city. They can't afford the school repairs because you're not taxing the 9, 10, 15 factories that are there.
Right.
So like, so why should all the citizens, like 20,000 citizens, have to deal with like a 3% tax increase? So Frito-Lay or NTK doesn't have, employment issues. They even outsource all their labor anyway. It's not like they're paying labor costs. It's through a temp service, so people come from Lafayette to come here, which that tax money goes back to Lafayette because Indiana's county tax rates go back to the county where their residence is.
Right.
So, like, it's not making Frankfurt any money when they do that. The jobs are from people outside the county. They're getting temped in from like Pro Resources, Staffing Resources, SRI. They come in from out of county to work here. So maybe like 10, 15 employees work in Frankfurt. So for the $4.5 million you gave the company, you get a return on like a tax base of what, $600? You lose so much money that has to get basically shouldered by the entire city. So, like, why not get rid of it? They're not going to move. $4.5 million, you're really going to eat $20 million in moving costs, operating expenses, go register as in the Secretary of State in another city. They have to call them on their bluff.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if it was like California or Texas with massive taxes like that, I could see them doing that. That's why like several companies moved from like California over to Nevada or like Seattle or something.
Right.
But Indiana, it's like we're in a primo location. Like we have rail systems that run through here. We have highway interstates that go anywhere they want to go. Moving out of Indiana based on our taxes and all of our infrastructure is absolutely retarded for any manufacturing company to do. So, I mean, like I could see software companies like the Salesforce, Exact Target shit being like, I'm tired of your Indiana stuff, moving to Silicon Valley because they have resources there, like employees. Sure. But here, manufacturing, like sending out like potato chips or diabetes juice to like wherever, like that makes sense for like, Indiana.
All right, well, we got to wrap up. So anything that you'd like to say to the people?
I want to know where Greg Lenz is. Is he smashing today, or is he just getting a girl drunk and just going home like a gentleman?
Well, we'll find out tomorrow. I'll be sure to ask him on tomorrow's episode.
I mean, like, where is everybody? They knew all of us coming. Like,
I know.
They know. I ratings go up. I keep the ratings high.
Well, I thought it was very nice. So, thank you for joining us here, and we are Libertarians, and we'll have an episode for you very soon. Thank you, James, for coming down and partying with me
and the cats,
and
man.
Mittens and Cornelius. And tomorrow, we're not going to do better than this. You can't do better than James Nease. So we'll see you tomorrow, or whenever we get that episode posted, i.e. me, whenever I feel like doing it. All right. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Shit, son.